Good morning, good day, and good night wherever you may be. Did you know that some foods labeled as healthy can have more sugar than a candy bar? It's true. Many people are shocked to learn just how much hidden sugar is in their favorite snacks. This is Art Thomas, and I have acquired ataxia. Welcome back to Living with Ataxia. One of the biggest challenges we face when it comes to fructose is identifying it in our everyday foods. Walk down any grocery aisle, and you'll see rows upon rows of packaged snacks and drinks that tout themselves as healthy, all while containing hidden sources of fructose. It's confusing, to say the least, and it makes it hard for us to make informed choices about what we're putting into our bodies. The problem is that manufacturers often use misleading labels or obscure names to hide the fact that their products contain fructose. They might say natural sweeteners or fruit juice concentrates, but what they're really talking about is a concentrated dose of fructose that can have serious health implications. And it's not just packaged snacks that are the problem, even seemingly healthy foods like fruit smoothies or energy bars can be loaded with fructose. This creates a sense of false security, where we think we're making healthy choices but are actually consuming more sugar than we realize. Identifying hidden glucose in everyday foods can be a real challenge. It's not always obvious, and food manufacturers often use sneaky tactics to disguise it on labels. The thing is, consuming high amounts of glucose without realizing it can have serious consequences for our health. From weight gain to energy crashes, and even increasing our risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease, it's a topic we need to take seriously. The problem is, many of us don't realize just how much glucose we're consuming on a daily basis. We think we're making healthy choices, but in reality, we're devouring glucose-laden foods left and right. And it's not just the obvious culprits like bread and pasta, even seemingly healthy foods like fruits and vegetables can contain surprisingly high amounts of glucose. So how do we uncover the hidden glucose in our foods? It starts with reading labels, and not just glancing over them, but really digging in to understand what we're looking at. We need to become label detectives, scouring ingredient lists for signs of hidden glucose. Let's take a look at some common foods that contain hidden glucose. You might be surprised to learn that your morning yogurt or granola bar is packed with the stuff. Even foods like ketchup and barbecue sauce, which we often think of as savory, can contain high amounts of glucose. And don't even get me started on healthy smoothies, which can be glucose bombs in disguise. You know, it's no secret that sugar is hiding in many processed foods, but what's surprising is just how easily sucrose can sneak into our diets without us even realizing it. We're not just talking about the obvious culprits like cakes, cookies, and candy. I'm talking about everyday foods like bread, pasta sauce, and even some seemingly healthy snacks. It's amazing how quickly these hidden sugars can add up. For example, many popular breakfast cereals contain a significant amount of sucrose, even the ones that market themselves as healthy. And it's not just cereals, yogurt, granola bars, and energy drinks are all common offenders. The point is, we've got to be vigilant about reading those ingredient labels and understanding what we're really eating. The problem is, food manufacturers often use clever marketing tactics to make their products appear healthier than they actually are. They might use terms like natural or wholesome to distract us from the high sugar content. That's why it's so important to educate ourselves about what's really going into our bodies. Take meal replacement bars, for instance. You'd think they're a healthy option, but many of them contain as much sucrose as a candy bar. It's crazy. And the worst part is, we often don't even realize we're consuming all that sugar because it's hidden behind a veil of healthy-sounding ingredients. So, where is sucrose commonly found? Unfortunately, it's pretty ubiquitous. Sauces like ketchup and pasta sauce are both high in sucrose. Many snack foods like crackers and chips contain it too. And of course, there are the obvious culprits like soft drinks and energy drinks. The key is to be aware of these hidden sugars and make conscious choices about the foods we eat. Many people assume that lactose is only found in dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt. But the truth is, lactose can be found in all sorts of foods, from bread and baked goods to salad dressings and even some medications. And for those who are lactose intolerant, consuming lactose can lead to some pretty uncomfortable symptoms, like bloating, gas, and stomach cramps. The real issue is that many people don't even realize they're lactose intolerant in the first place. They might experience these symptoms without making the connection to lactose, or they might assume it's just a normal part of eating certain foods. But the reality is, lactose intolerance affects millions of people worldwide, and it's a condition that can have a serious impact on quality of life. So, why is it so hard to avoid lactose, even for those who are trying to cut it out of their diet? The answer lies in the subtle ways that lactose can sneak into our food. From whey and casein to lactose-containing additives, there are dozens of ways that lactose can end up in our meals. When we think about sugar, we often think about the kind we add to our coffee or sprinkle on our cereal. But hidden sugars, like dextrose, can be just as problematic. Consuming high amounts of sugar has been linked to a range of health concerns, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and even heart disease. And the thing is, many of us aren't even aware of how much sugar we're consuming because it's hidden in seemingly healthy foods. The impact of hidden sugars on our health cannot be overstated. Not only do they contribute to weight gain and energy crashes, but they can also lead to chronic inflammation and disrupt our gut health. And dextrose is no exception. As a sugar, it can cause a spike in blood sugar levels, which can be particularly problematic for people with diabetes or those who are trying to manage their blood sugar. What's more, many food manufacturers use dextrose because it's cheaper and easier to produce than natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup. So, even if a food is labeled as natural or organic, it may still contain dextrose. This can make it difficult for consumers to make informed choices about their diet. Dextrose is used in a wide range of foods, from energy bars and protein powders to yogurt and granola. It's often used to enhance the flavor and texture of these foods, but it can also be used to extend their shelf life. And the thing is, many of these foods are marketed as healthy options, which can make it difficult for consumers to identify the dextrose. Galactose can be a problem for some people, and that's because of a condition called galactosemia. This rare genetic disorder affects an individual's ability to metabolize galactose properly, which can lead to a range of symptoms including liver damage, seizures, and even intellectual disability. If left untreated, galactosemia can be life-threatening. Newborns are usually screened for galactosemia, and if diagnosed, they're put on a galactose-free diet to prevent long-term damage. However, even with treatment, some people may still experience developmental delays and intellectual disabilities. The severity of galactosemia can vary greatly, and researchers are still working to understand the full range of its effects. In addition to galactosemia, some people may experience less severe symptoms, such as bloating, gas, and stomach discomfort, after consuming galactose-rich foods. While galactose can be problematic for some, it's also an important component of certain biological processes. For example, galactose is involved in the growth and development of neurons, and it may even play a role in maintaining healthy gut bacteria. Research is ongoing to explore the potential benefits of galactose, but it's clear that it's a complex sugar with both positive and negative effects. Galactose is found in a variety of foods, including dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt. It's also present in some fruits, such as avocados and apricots, as well as in legumes like beans and lentils. When we consume galactose, it's broken down into glucose and galactose in the small intestine, and then absorbed into the bloodstream. The liver then converts galactose into glucose, which can be used by the body for energy. High fructose corn syrup has been shown to contribute to obesity and metabolic disorders by interfering with our body's natural ability to regulate blood sugar levels and insulin production. High fructose corn syrup is not naturally occurring in its processed form. It is a manufactured sweetener derived from cornstarch through enzymatic conversion of glucose to fructose. While fructose is naturally occurring in many fruits and vegetables, the specific composition and processing of high fructose corn syrup, with varying ratios of fructose to glucose, is not found in nature. This can lead to a range of problems, from weight gain and type 2 diabetes to heart disease and even certain cancers. But that's not all. High fructose corn syrup has also been linked to an increased risk of fatty liver disease, digestive issues, and even cognitive decline. And if you think you're safe because you don't eat a lot of sugary snacks, think again. High fructose corn syrup is often hidden in seemingly healthy foods like bread, pasta sauce, and even some yogurts. One of the biggest concerns about high fructose corn syrup is its ability to hijack our brain's reward system, making us crave more and more of the sweet stuff. This can lead to overconsumption and addiction, which is precisely why food manufacturers love using it. It keeps us coming back for more. But the scariest part is that high fructose corn syrup is often used in combination with other unhealthy ingredients like salt and fat, creating a perfect storm of unhealthy cravings and unhealthy eating habits. Food companies love to use high fructose corn syrup because it's cheap, easy to produce, and extends the shelf life of their products. But the real question is, why do we need so much added sugar in our food in the first place? Could it be that we're just not getting enough natural sweetness from whole, nutrient-dense foods? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: we need to start paying attention to what we're putting in our bodies. There are a lot of misconceptions about maltose sugar, and one of the biggest ones is that it's not as sweet as regular sugar. But the truth is, maltose sugar is actually just as sweet as sucrose. Another myth is that maltose sugar is somehow healthier than other types of sugar, but the reality is that our bodies process maltose sugar the same way we process other sugars. Some people even think that maltose sugar is a natural alternative to refined sugars, but the process of creating maltose sugar involves several steps, including hydrolysis and crystallization, which aren't exactly natural processes. And then there are those who believe that maltose sugar is easier to digest than other sugars, but we'll get into that in a minute. One of the reasons maltose sugar is often misunderstood is because it's not as widely studied as other types of sugar. But what we do know is that maltose sugar is created when enzymes break down starches, like those found in grains, into simpler sugars. This process happens naturally in our bodies, but it's also used in food production to create maltose sugar on a larger scale. The problem is, most of us are consuming way more maltose sugar than our bodies were designed to handle. Maltose sugar is found in a lot of foods, from bread and pasta to beer and energy drinks. It's even found in some fruits and vegetables, like apples and sweet potatoes. But the thing is, our bodies aren't designed to handle the amounts of maltose sugar we're consuming today. When we eat too much maltose sugar, it can slow down our digestion and lead to bloating, gas, and even stomach pain. So what's hiding in maltose sugar? The surprising truth is that maltose sugar has been linked to some serious health implications. Studies have shown that consuming high amounts of maltose sugar can lead to an increased risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. This is because maltose sugar is quickly absorbed by the body, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. This can lead to insulin resistance, which is a precursor to both obesity and diabetes. One of the biggest misconceptions about sorbitol is that it's a healthy alternative to sugar. But the truth is, it's not that simple. Sorbitol is still a type of sugar, and it can have some pretty significant side effects. For one, it can cause bloating, gas, and stomach discomfort in many people. And if you're not careful, it can also lead to an upset stomach, diarrhea, and even weight gain. Another misconception is that sorbitol is easily digested. But the reality is, many people have trouble digesting it. This can lead to a range of digestive issues, from mild discomfort to full-blown IBS symptoms. And if you're someone who's already prone to digestive issues, sorbitol can make things much worse. But what about the calories? Doesn't sorbitol have fewer calories than sugar? Yes, it does. But that doesn't mean it's a free pass. Sorbitol can still contribute to weight gain, especially if you're consuming it in large quantities. And when you combine it with other sugar alcohols, the calorie count can add up quickly. One of the biggest concerns surrounding maltodextrin is its classification as a carbohydrate. While it's not a traditional sugar, it can still cause a spike in blood sugar levels, which can be problematic for people with diabetes or those who are trying to manage their blood sugar. Additionally, maltodextrin is often derived from genetically modified corn, which can be a turn-off for those who prioritize non-GMO foods. Furthermore, the high glycemic index of maltodextrin means that it can cause a rapid increase in blood sugar levels, followed by a crash, leaving us feeling sluggish and lethargic. This can lead to energy crashes, mood swings, and even cravings for more carbohydrates. And because maltodextrin is often used in combination with other sweeteners, it can be difficult to pinpoint exactly how much sugar we're consuming. The impact of maltodextrin on gut health is also worth considering. As a carbohydrate that's not fully digested in the small intestine, maltodextrin can be fermented by bacteria in the large intestine, leading to the production of short-chain fatty acids. While this may not seem like a bad thing, an overabundance of these fatty acids can lead to changes in the gut microbiome, potentially contributing to digestive issues and even weight gain. Maltodextrin is often produced from cornstarch through a process of acid hydrolysis, which breaks down the starch into simpler carbohydrates. The resulting powder is then spray dried to create a fine, white powder that can be easily added to food products. While this process is relatively inexpensive and efficient, it does raise questions about the nutritional value of maltodextrin and its potential impact on our health. With the rise of health-conscious eating, it's no secret that many of us are on the hunt for alternatives to refined sugar. And agave, with its seemingly natural and low glycemic benefits, has become a popular choice for many. But is it really as healthy as we think? We've all been there, scrolling through social media, seeing our favorite health influencers raving about the latest and greatest sugar substitutes. But have we stopped to think about what actually makes a sweetener healthy? I mean, beyond the fancy marketing claims and trendy packaging, what are we really getting? It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but as consumers, it's our job to be informed. We need to cut through the confusion and look at the facts. So, what does it take for a sugar alternative to earn its health halo? Is it just about being natural, or is there more to it? Agave, for one, has been touted as a natural, low-glycemic sweetener that's perfect for everything from baking to sweetening our morning coffee. But what's really in this stuff? Thanks for watching, and I want to hear from you. Have you ever been shocked to learn how much hidden sugar was in one of your favorite snacks? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're ready to ditch the hidden sugars and start making some healthy changes, be sure to check out our other videos on healthier alternatives.